Hi guys, welcome to another episode of IndieCast. So today Raj and I thought that we should sit down and discuss our relationship with the French. Recently, we'd seen a couple of documentaries and a TV series on Netflix, which was basically India's Air Force operations during the Kargil War.
Yeah, I
And-
think French military technology,
Yeah.
French military tech in general
Yeah.
has become an important feature of India's military aviation, especially in the recent history.
Yes.
So we watched
The
Operation-
post-globalization
Yes.
history. Yeah.
We watched Operation Safed Sagar on Netflix, and I couldn't help but notice that in the final episode of that series, spoiler alert.
Sorry, I would like to correct myself. Even before globalization, we had like a decent relationship with the French.
So in the final episode, the Indian Air Force strikes Pakistani positions using the Assault Mirage, which was used in the Kargil War, then also in 2019 during the Balakot strikes, and now in all our very recent history during Op Sindoor also, the French platform Rafale was deployed to strike positions in Muridke, Bahawalpur, etc. So I think it would be an interesting conversation to just trace our military ties and civilian ties as well with the French. I think a country which has very readily and very reliably become a military partner and kind of sort of trusted. I don't want to use the word ally, but a trusted partner in Western Europe as well. It's like a good diversification path that we can take if we don't want to rely too much on the Americans. So if you want to diversify away from your relationship from the Americans, but not be diverted into the Russian or the Chinese camp, so a country like France gives us a very reliable middle path to that debate. So I think from that perspective, India is very privileged to have a reliable partner in the French, and there's a lot of military ties military exercises these countries do together. We'll get to that in a bit.
So I was reading somewhere that the French provide us the second highest amount of arms after the Russians, somewhere to 33%. And recently, the highest number of arms imports from the French side has been towards India. So that goes to show that there is some levels of trust and a very well established rapport from the French. And it is our way of diversifying in fields where we want to look away from not only the Russians but also from the Americans.
Yeah.
Because now in a multipolar world it is even more relevant, because while allying with French, we're not like ruffling the wrong feathers, in my opinion. And historically their equipment has always performed well in our military confrontations with our neighbors.
Yeah.
And it's not just during Op Sindoor or during the Balakot strikes or during the Kargil war. It goes before the fall of Soviet Union as well.
I think even the European Union is looking for reliable partners in the world which have due regard for the existing international order. Whatever you say about India's external affairs or foreign policy, architecture and bureaucracy, one thing that can be proven beyond reasonable doubt is that India's foreign affairs have always been very respecting of international institutions, respecting of international order, in a time where a lot of US security guarantees to the European Union in general are eroding, in a time when countries like Russia are presenting more and more grave threat to rest of Western Europe. I think it also serves a kind of purpose to the French to diversify their partnerships. I'm not saying India can counterbalance any major power, but I think EU in general, especially the French, have also looked at India as a sort of a reliable nuclear power in times when globalization and international institutions and their worth have started to erode a little bit.
Yes, and
International order has fractured. To
In
a
fact,
degree.
I would say that France is one of the strongest members of the European Union. I think they are the only member in the European Union which can come at par with Germany, specifically with respect to technology, especially military tech.
For sure.
And not economically, obviously, but economically, Germany is the behemoth. But France, I would say, is a strong number 2 and number 3. And coming back to your point, I feel the mother of all trade deals that were signed between the European Union and India was an important indicator that even the Europeans are looking for a close ally with the Indians. And with India, they see that there is a reliable partner which can not only counter China but can also be a friend at a time when there is so much geopolitical uncertainty that has been caused by the Republican-led government of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Coming back to my point, a lot of the American allies, especially in Europe, have felt isolated. We had like the falling out of Spain, and even the French haven't been the most vocal supporters of the war that is happening in Iran. In fact, a lot of Emmanuel Macron's policies have really bothered Donald Trump. And I would say that Emmanuel Macron has grown as a leader who has a lot of spine and someone who actually stands up for the national values that his country stands for. We saw that with the protests that happened around the decapitation of the French teacher, where he said that these are the French values and nobody can question me on that. And that is when a lot of people saw him as a liberal leader. But the fact that he was able to do that, the fact that he was not bowing down to any type of fundamentalist pressure, was something that was very impressive to centrists like you and I.
Yeah.
So from that angle, and from a Nehruvian foreign policy which India still follows, mind you, the non-alignment foreign policy that we still follow,
Stronger than ever.
stronger than ever. I feel for a centrist and a pragmatist like Emmanuel Macron, it's very important that we align ourselves with him as well.
And I think this is a very natural convergence that exists between the Indians and the EU. No wonder we have seen some great deepening of ties. I in fact think that now more than ever, because of fracture in many international institutions and a fracture in many countries' regard to these international institutions, Europeans have also not been shying away from rebuilding their military capabilities. And as a partner, India is playing a role in sort of being a co-exercise partner. You know, we are doing a lot of military exercise with the French. We have the Varun exercise, which is held between the Indian and the French navies. We have the Garud exercise, which is held between the air forces of both countries. Even the ground forces and the Indian Army, they do something I think called Shakti. I'll have to check that. But these three exercises happen for the Indian Armed Forces and the French Armed Forces to sort of share notes and jointly, grow together. I think that kind of serves a very important diplomatic role, and it also serves a very important military role, that in today's day when you're seeing spurious, almost outright sometimes bombing campaigns which have no regard for the international institutions. This serves as a kind of refreshing relationship. So I think India and French have a lot more to do when it comes to rebuilding their militaries together.
I think it was in February this year that Emmanuel Macron paid visit to India, if I'm not wrong, and that also was a strong message, strong signal to where the geopolitics of the world stands as of now. And coming back to the isolationist policies of the United States, we recently had Donald Trump reducing the number of military drills that used to take place between South Korea and North Korea. So the global world order is starting to note and acknowledge the fact that United States is not a reliable partner to have. We saw that across the Middle East, which essentially forced powers like Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and Turkey to come together, and sign a defense pact, which was essentially aimed at Israel and Iran at the same time. A lot of people in India actually thought that, and were naturally spooked, that this means that it is an alliance against them. No, you're mistaken. With respect to Middle East, it was an alliance specifically aimed at Israel and at Iran, because right now what is happening is that a lot of people have gone away from the validity and the relevance of the Abraham Pact as well. Now, with the Abraham Pact in tatters after the Iran war, a lot of people have started viewing Israel as a rogue state, which even the Americans have absolutely no control over. So in that in that fashion, Pakistanis are trying to fill in the power vacuum, which they have historically done since the time of Zia-ul Haq. So, from that angle, I feel we can also, approach our relationship with the French like that, where we can see that the French people are representative in front of the European Union, and they basically carry our interest forward in front of other powerful countries like Germany.
Jay, about the Americans,
Yeah.
I do want to say that I think we've mentioned twice about the incumbent Republican administration and Donald Trump and all of that. I do think that there was a unsaid norm in the US foreign policy architecture until one time where they had that view that their politics ends where their coastline starts. So it was a general view that Democrats and Republicans don't really radically change foreign policy or interfere in foreign affairs too much.
100%.
They wouldn't shift it historically. I do think that premise has shifted a little bit
Yes.
in Donald Trump's administration, and I think that has what has led to a lot of people in the EU, which have been the longest sort of committed folks to the transatlantic partnership, to rethink their policy priorities. That is why even India, as much as we share our democratic values with the Americans, has also been looking to diversify its partners, and that's why I think. Coming back to our original point of speaking about the French and our military partnership with them, this is not just a sort of principal buyer-seller agreement. This is a kind of long-term strategic industrial partnership. It's not just that we are procuring jets from the French. We are doing military exercises with them. We are deepening our economic and trade ties with them. We are engaging with them diplomatically quite well. And I think that it's just very well defined. The manifestation of these deep trade ties are in our military capabilities, but the relationship runs much deeper than that. Part of the reason, I'll just conclude by saying this, part of the reason that we have searched frantically for partners in Western Europe and across the rest of the world is because the commitment of this US administration to the international order has eroded a little bit. Back to you.
It is often said that history does not repeat itself, but it definitely rhymes. I'll take you back to the 18th century of the Indian subcontinent, when we were facing a lot of political hostility from the foreign powers. You had like the Battle of Panipat. The Marathas and the Afghans had come to a very brutal stalemate where nobody was powerful enough to rule the subcontinent, and suddenly that opened the gates or the floodgates to the British to actually start dominating from Bengal. So the areas of resistance against the regional powers, quote unquote, the native powers, actually started with cooperating with the French, because the French Europeans were able to provide the modern military knowledge and ideas to the native armies in order to resist and fight the British. So it was not only the Sikhs and the Mysoreans, it was also the Marathas who also collaborated with the French, because we always forget that the French still had certain outposts and port towns in India.
Yeah.
So from Pondicherry and all these other places. So it is very important to acknowledge that it is kind of a similar moment that we've come, where Indians are again collaborating with the French in a totally different context, not in the context of resisting colonialism.
Yeah, I mean, see, there's definitely a historical note to that as well. Chandanagar, Pondicherry in India were French colonies.
I always used to wonder that how did Tipu Sultan approach the French France so far off? Then I realized they had their colonies in India as well.
And
now imagine if the French would have won, other than the British, we would be hating on the French, and we would be talking about how our possible alliance with the British would have worked out.
And parts of India became a flashpoint for the tensions between the English and the French. So there's obviously that element to the relationship as well. But I mean, I think I want to conclude by saying that we started this conversation on the premise that French are becoming long-term military weapons hardware suppliers to India. I just want to say that there's a lot more to that relationship. Like you pointed out, there are some historical ties that we have with the French. It's a very reliable middle path sort of ally to us, that we don't want to be in the American camp, but you don't want to drift off and be labeled a pro-Russia, pro-China camp either. So as two nations that have a very strong commitment towards ideas like democracy, there were some aspects of the preamble of our constitution that drew inspiration from the French Revolution, right? So as two partners with that much commitment to democracy, I think there lies a natural relationship which is beyond military purchases. It will deepen further, and I think, like I said, it's the manifestation of that is in our deeply increasing defense relationship. I think I want to conclude with that.
Yes. Even I will conclude, and we have recently given ahead a new order for Rafales. I think the new order also includes a bunch of marine Rafales, which
Yeah.
we'll use on our aircraft carriers.
Yeah.
Which is going to
the
boost
naval
our naval.
aviators will operate those.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
And-
for joining us. It was a short and quick episode, but
Yeah.
keep revisiting for whatever little bit that we can offer.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
And correct us if we're wrong somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.